Hi, welcome to my channel. So today we'll be talking about some of the most common lies the society constantly tell us. And the most dangerous part about this is that people tend to believe these lies and they live their life based on all these principles. Probably you're being told that when you do this, these are the things you get. So you start doing those things you're told to do 5 years, 10, 20, 30 years. At the end of the day, you get to realize that you're not getting any of the benefits you have been promised. This is not a good way to live. So some of those common lies, the first one is that money is the root of all evil. Money cannot be root of evil. What money does is that it amplifies who you are. It brings out more of who you are. If you're a good person, you become better when you have money. If you're a bad person, you become worse when you have money. If you're someone who is used to supporting people, when you have money, you'll be able to do more. If you're an entrepreneur, you are industrious. When you have money, you tend to build more businesses and hire more people. Same thing if you're a bad person, when you have money, you become worse. I think people are judging from the aspect of some few group of people whom probably they are acting strangely and you feel that this person has money, why is he acting in this way? What usually happens in such situation is that at times people sacrifice too much to make money or to attain a particular status. So when they get to this position, they still need to like give in too much to retain their position. So they are going through a lot inside of them, and this could possibly affect them mentally. You see, not only the people the society refer to as being mad is actually mentally imbalanced. There are so many people who are walking on the streets that are mentally unstable. Let me give you a typical example. Probably you see someone, maybe a minor issue, and is overreacting. You see, it's not about the situation, it's about the person. It's having an internal issue. Or you greeted someone as simple as just greeting, oh, good morning, sir, and he shouted at you. You've not done anything wrong. You're doing the right thing. So the anger is inside of him. You were just a victim that gave him the opportunity to express that anger. So you can't, because of that situation, judge everybody that, oh, everybody who has money are evil. No, it applies to some set of people, probably based on the way they live their life and all of that. But I tell you, making money is a good thing because it makes life worth living. So the next big lie is that you need to save all your money in the bank. Yes, you need to save your money in the bank, but it's not a good practice to leave your money in the bank. Save your money, have a target, save that target, take your money and start looking for businesses you can invest your money. That's the best way to manage money. Money is a tool. Money is not something you acquire and feel like, yes, you have a amount of money you're made. No, you're supposed to keep multiplying that money. Okay, let that money go to work for you so you can relax. So your money is not supposed to be left in the bank for too long. If you feel that, okay, your business idea is big, you don't really have that capital, you can do something else that will require little capital with what you have that can help you make in more money. It will make your journey more interesting because it will be very, very easy for you to attain that big height, that big business you want to do, because you have some small businesses that are giving you additional income in addition to your main job, your main source of income. So that is how to use money, not to keep the money in the bank. Because when you keep your money in the bank is actually giving your money out to people who are industrial. So they are transacting with your money, they are making profit with your money. The bank is also making a profit through interest on your money. And you, the owner of the money, chances are you're getting very, very little. So start thinking of things you can possibly do with your money and use your money yourself. And the third is you can only heal yourself through a medical doctor. Firstly, I want to appreciate the medical practitioners because they've been saving lives. They've been the one helping us for all these years. But you see, not only through medical practitioners you can heal yourself. You can heal yourself through whatever it is you believe in, your culture and tradition. Before the medical institution was established, there are ways that people used to heal themselves. So these are the roots of our existence. Yes, these are the roots of our existence. So it's better when you like go back to that and figure out what those things are, because chances are, one, they tend to be very, very effective as well, and two, most of these things will cost you little to nothing. For instance, the part of the world where I live in Africa, and we are used to herbs, roots. That is how we're used to healing ourselves, and these things are very, very effective and very, very less expensive. So yeah, you can still take advantage of all of that to heal yourself. All right, so the next is academic equals success. Not in every situation academic equals success, because most of these syllables that are being used to train people today were created so many decades ago, some even, yeah, many decades ago, probably like 50 years ago. So some of this information are not really relevant today. Things has changed. When they created this syllabus, the world was not like this, and the syllabus has not really changed. So it's not really solving the problem we are having today. I think one thing that can be done is probably the syllabus should be changed to match with the present way we are living today. That's just one thing I believe can easily be done to elevate the educational system. You see, there's one particular day I went into a university, so I saw a building project that is ongoing. I called someone and I asked that, who are the people in charge of this project? The person told me that they brought in some engineer, he named the company. So to me, I asked that, this school has civil engineering department. So what are they doing? What are the professors doing within that department? Why can't they handle this project? And the person was speechless, you see. So to me, I'm like, it's not really good enough. Schools should let their students practice real practical, not just projects at the end of their academic session. Let them engage in activities. Probably, let's say the school is about to work on an electrical project, a major electrical project in the school. Let the electrical department students come and handle the project, because the professor is supposed to understand all these things better. That is why he's teaching. We should move from the era of teaching in paper to be teaching practical, real practical. So I think that will make a lot of difference. Schools, to the best of my knowledge, should have all the institutions operating in the school, like the banks and all of that, should be managed by the students. In fact, the school should have its own system and operate its own system without bringing system from outside. Most commonly banks, right? School can have banks that will be run by the students internally. They can have insurance companies. They can have everything, and everything can be managed by the student. To me, I believe this is the first hand-on job experience any student can get while studying. And after school, it becomes very easy for them to get into the field and start practicing, because they are used to it while they are in school. So another common lie we are being told is that the world isn't getting better. I don't believe that. The world is fast getting better when you and I start to contribute our part. The problem is that people don't really discover themselves. They don't know who they are. So they position themselves wrongly and end up delivering poor services. The first stage is to discover yourself as a person. When you discover yourself, you start doing things that you're destined to do. So you will be doing it, and you'll be doing it very, very well. So those are these basic principles that can make the world get better. But when people start positioning themselves wrongly, they deliver poor service to people who paid for this poor service. So that is the problem. You see, the moment we all start figuring out who we are, to me, I think that's the very first thing, for us to discover who you are, and you start doing things that you are destined to do, right? The world will start getting better. And you see, this basic practice will help us become more supportive, because everybody is doing the thing he wants to do. So greed will reduce, jealousy will reduce, hatred will reduce, because you're doing what you want to do. I'm doing what I want to do. So you won't really have any reason to envy. Even if it does exist, it won't be at the level that it does exist presently. So the world can get better when we start to figure out who we are, and we start to position ourselves in positions that we are actually created for. And we're also being told that science is God. I don't believe science is God. Science can never be God. Science is only making research based on what God created. Science is not creating anything tangible. Everything science is creating, right? They are picking materials that God created. They are blending them together then to give us different products. Kudos to the scientists, yeah, because they are really making life interesting. But the only books also said it, that God created all these things, then put us, man, in charge of all these things, to learn, to explore, to experiment. Okay, so God gave us all these things, not science. Science is only trying to discover, right? To discover what God created. So science can never be God, and science is not God. Anybody who is believing that science is God, so does that mean that science creates that person itself? No. The only thing science did is that science made a research to understand how the baby live and grow in the womb till it's finally delivered. So they only conducted a research that, okay, how does this thing work? Not that they created it, right? They didn't create anything. They were only studying, and they are picking things that aligns together that, okay, if we pick this and we pick this, we can use this to form this. And those are the inventions we are enjoying today, which is a good thing, right? But that does not make science God. Science is not a God. Science is a study by anybody who is a scientist. Anybody can be a scientist. Start studying and start discovering new things that you could probably turn into a product that will help the world get better. We're also constantly being told that owning a home is a great asset. It could be a great asset, but you need to check your financial status and your stage, the stage you're currently in life. You see, if you're still very young and you're active, I think the first thing you need to do is to focus on building your business, expand your income first. Then it becomes very easy for you to build a house. But if you're growing old and you want to retire, fine, you might not necessarily want to live in the city. You can go to a new site and build your house, have your garden, live an interesting life. But if you're young and still active, it's better for you to live in a place. You see, it's better to be a tenant in a city than to be a landlord in a developing site where you have access to almost nothing. But in the city, you can easily connect, you can do business. So I think owning a home has to do with stage. You need to build yourself to get to that stage so that by the time you start building, you can build and continuously build. Probably you build for yourself to live, you build for rent. Then that is when owning houses become asset because you're still connected to your major source of income. You could expand your business and you can do all of that. We're also constantly being told that there's only one path to getting things done, that you have to follow this particular path to get it done, forgetting that someone invented that path. If that path was not invented by that person, probably another person will have figured out another way of getting it done. So if you feel that this way does not really favor you, which of course it won't favor everybody. So if you feel it doesn't favor you and you're thinking that this thing can be done in another way, in as much as what you're trying to do is just, is right, then you can go ahead and do it. If it works, then you've just invented something that so many people will come and benefit from. So I don't see any bad thing in trying to attempt something new or trying to create things that has not really existed before. So we just all can be doing the same thing. If you feel a particular system is not working for you, then you can create your own system that will work for you and will definitely work for people whom their personality aligns with your own. So it's not just a one-way thing. There are so many ways to doing things. Just that people are being conditioned to believe that you have to do it in a certain way, all right? That you have to do it in a certain way. All right, thanks so much for joining me on this video. My name is Rilwan Ajibola. I'm a business consultant and a life coach. So if you got value from this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, like, share, and leave your comments, opinion, feedback. Leave all of that within the comment box below. All right, thanks so much for joining me once again, and I look forward to having you in other videos.